We're live. Hello, humans. Happy 2023. Dr. Saara here. Go Broncos. I actually just changed to put my Bronco hoodie on because the game is going on right now. We're in halftime and actually not being shitty, which is amazing. So, if you're not from the Colorado area, from my Canadian friends, we suck this year. We just fired a whole bunch of our coaching staff, and the players are stepping up, but that's not why I'm here to talk to you. I'd love to share with you some tips for New Year's resolutions or setting goals in general that will last you much longer than 95% of the population that totally ends up quitting by February 4th. Okay. I've literally been studying motivation and goal setting for the past 20 years. I got my PhD and my master's in basically motivation, sports and exercise psychology, but how to perform at your best, how to stay motivated, how to be an optimal human being. I'm just quickly, not so quickly because I like chatting, going to go over 5 tips that you can use to set your goals for this year, whether they're resolutions or not. At the end, I'm going to invite you to a 5-day challenge that I'm doing, starts January 16th. It's going to be for 5 days going down at noon Mountain Standard Time, Monday through Friday. For those of you, even if you have New Year's resolutions, but for those of you who don't really know where to focus on your life. So we're going to start with a life wheel. Hopefully finding the domino, the area of your life that you should focus on for this upcoming year so that you can have the most momentum and most success, that one domino that's going to make everything else kind of easier. Doesn't necessarily have to be health, wellness, fitness, any of that, but we're going to do that exercise at the beginning of the 5 days that goes down January 16th. So DM me for more information to get on that list and to get registered. Okay, so we're going to get into it. Hello, my live viewers. I'm on StreamYard and it doesn't let me see the people until it's done. So I'm sorry, but hello, thanks for being here. Tip number 1 is to decide. Okay? Nothing is going to happen if you don't believe it. So tip number 1 and tip number 2 are kind of like this, but the first thing is decide that you want to do things differently. Not just because you're doing a New Year's resolution because it seems like the thing to do because everyone is doing that. I want you to decide that you want to be different. A huge help with this is to be doing the why exercise, to asking yourself, why do you want to make this change? Because as human beings, we are all very motivated right now, but next week we're not going to be. So we have to stay on the momentum wheel of a motivation, and then we're going to start taking action. But a really important thing to dig into is to figure out, to decide first that you want to change, and then figure out why. Because when our monkey brains, and this situation happens at work where someone brings in cookies, let's say that you can make better choices based on your future self, because there's no neutral choices in life. There's not good and bad choices. All of our choices have consequences, and even the small ones throughout the day. But the very first thing is to decide you want to be different and why. Number 2, the belief that it is actually possible. I talk with my hands a lot. I'm just looking at the screen, so I'm going to sit on that. I think it's an ADD thing. But decide that change is actually possible for you. You need to believe that you are the human being that you want to be. You need to believe for your future self. And then you need to make, I need my hands to talk. Then you need to make those decisions based on your future self. Okay. But you need to believe that change is possible. You need to believe that you can be whoever you want to be in whatever aspect of your life. If you don't believe that, it's not going to happen. And often all these limiting beliefs are stuck in our subconscious that our parents gave to us before the age of 7. And we repeat thought behaviors, actions. Our subconscious drives 95% of our behavior. So we have to believe that that change is able to come true for it to actually come true. I do a lot of mindset reprogramming in my 12-week program, but this is huge. You need to believe it can happen for it to happen. Okay, tip number 3 is to do something about it. Take action. Okay, we can't just wish for our dreams. Dreaming is the easiest part. Doing is what is a challenge. So you need to take action. Okay, what is your plan? When you set goals, I like to have the goal that's like realistic. So let's say working out is one of your resolutions for this year or something they want to incorporate more. So your goal, the first goal I want you to set is like a bare minimum goal. Okay. So let's say that's working out 3 times a week for 30 minutes. Great. You really wanted to start it with that stretch goal that's like 5 times a week for an hour. But here's the thing, if you miss that a few times, your brain is going to be like, whoa, that's too big and scary. We're just going to quit the whole thing. So it's great to have those big goals, but I want you to break it down. What's your bare minimum weekly goal? Let's say for working out. So that might be 3 times a week at 30 minutes. And your stretch goal, if you're feeling awesome that week, it's going to be 5 times a week at an hour. Okay. Does that make sense? So usually during New Year's, especially, we set those big goals. They're too big. Break it down. Make something like sustainable for yourself. Okay. So you can have success and you can have that momentum. When we set goals that are too big and then we don't do them and then we don't do them again and we just totally quit because it's too hard, because that's how our brain works. So I want you to do a little goal and then a stretch goal. Okay. But take action. Along with that taking action thing is number 4. What's your plan? What are you going to do? If you're giving something up, I want you to do a replacement behavior or food instead of whatever that behavior or food is. Okay. You're just not going to go cold turkey. What's your replacement behavior or replacement food if you're giving something up? What is your plan? How are you going to fit it into your schedule? Okay. What if something goes bad? What are you going to do about it? What's your backup? Okay. Who's going to hold you accountable? Do you have a coach? Do you have a significant other? Who are you sharing this with? All these things are important. If you don't have these in place, you are not going to have the same success as if you did. Okay. In my personal opinion, if health is your focus this year, there are 5 things that will improve your life greatly. Focus on your sleep. Number 1, focus on your sleep. So much science is finally coming out that sleep is so much more important than working out. And that's coming from a workout freak, right? Okay, so sleep. Number 2, as you would have guessed, movement. Get more movement in. You don't need to think of this as exercise. Replace that word in your brain. Do that word swap, not slop. Language is huge for us. Okay. How can you get more movement in? It doesn't have to be exercise. Exercise is movement, but it could be walking. It could be parking farther away. It could be going for a hike. It could be doing walking meetings at work. How can you get more movement in? Replace that with exercise. Okay. What are you eating? If you want to change your body composition, 80% of that is done with what goes in here. Okay. Stay away from processed food, eat real food, reduce your sugar. Yeah. How can you reduce your stress? Stress is a huge one. There's 6 types of stress, 7 types of rest. I always get that backwards. Might be 7 types of rest, 6 kinds of stress. Get your stress under control. Cortisol is the hormone that is released when you are in a high stress environment. Everyone I know nowadays is letting everything stress you out. You're in control of your thoughts. How you think about the things that you have to do, work and whatnot. Like stress is within your control, and it does seem really challenging. Like how do we reduce stress? But there are different types of stress that require different types of rest. I go into that a lot more into my program. But reduce your stress, eat good food, get sleep, get movement, and then the last one is change your mindset. Okay, that goes back to number 1 and number 2. You have to decide and believe that it is possible, because everything that's in here controls your behavior, and whatever you tell yourself becomes true. And your subconscious is talking to you and taking control of your life 95% of the time. So we have to get in there and change it and use better language with ourselves, positive psychology, thought stoppage, brain reprogramming, so many things. And I help people with that. So if you want to dig into that deeper, just reach out. But how you think about things matter. So I don't know if you know or not. If you're watching this on Facebook, you probably do. But we had to say goodbye to Xander on Friday. And it was hard. And I'm not saying that I don't feel sad about it. I totally did. I cried my eyeballs out. But the way that Brent and the way that I have trained my brain to be able to Use thought stoppage techniques to be able to move on quicker, to stop that ruminating. So ruminating is going the same thought over and over and over and over again. And we cried a lot. I cried a lot. He cried a lot. It's not that I didn't let myself feel the emotions. I did. And then I was in the emotion and went through it. I also did my PhD on emotions. So learning how to do that is a skill. 100%. You can't just do one bicep curl and get ripped. It's how you train your brain to think over and over and over and over again. Okay. To be in the emotion, to be in the positive mindset, to be able to reframe, to be able to catch your words that you're using with yourself. All of these things are so important to change your life, to change your lifestyle, to have sustainable change, to believe that this shit is possible and that it works and it doesn't happen overnight. And the things that you've been doing in regards to lifestyle change haven't worked for a reason, because you haven't changed the way that you think. Okay. So you have to change the way that you think if you want to be different. You have to make choices for your future self, not the person that you are today, because the person you are today is going to make the same choices to keep yourself here, safe, and not dying. That's what your brain does. So you need to make big choices, big change, big decisions, and big beliefs based on the person you want to be, not on the person you are today. Okay. So I'm going to go over those tips again. The first one is decide, then believe it's possible, then take action, then create a backup plan and replacement behaviors. And step number 5 is going to be, I would love to see you in my 5-day challenge. Goes down January 16th. There is a way to participate for free. If you join my Facebook group and you invite 3 friends, you get a free ticket. Otherwise, it's $17, which is pretty much guaranteed to be the best $17 you've ever spent, because we're going to do life change on a daily basis. We're going to figure out from your life wheel, you get to decide all of this of where you should have your focus in 2023 to have the most success. Okay. Usually we have big pillars in our life, and if we tackle the one that's the lowest, you have the quickest success. The quickest. I've done this Happier, Healthier Human Challenge. I think the last time I did it was pre-COVID, so 2 years ago. The feedback was amazing. I had a woman who just did that at the beginning of the year and ended up losing 30 pounds that year. It really sets you up with a different way of thinking for life change. I have been studying this stuff for over 20 years, published international researcher in motivation and mindset, optimal performance, and emotions. So we will be talking about that a lot. This actual training doesn't have anything with health and fitness in it. So this is just brain stuff, the psychology to give you a better life. I'd love to see you there. I will put the link below, but I will also say it. It's moveatworkchallenge.com/HHH23. Happier, Healthier Human in 23. That's what it stands for. Would love to see you there. One more gift for you. This is not my proprietary information. This is going to be the first time I am doing it. I have access to share with you a 2023 workbook. What you basically do is you're going to reflect on this past year, and then it's all like a workbook. What are you going to do this year? It has prompting questions. It's 20 pages, and it will help you figure out what you should do next year. If you want a good place to start, only available today. So today is Sunday. It is 12:57 p.m. I am going to be stepping in and out of the internet because I've been working all morning. And now I'm going to spend the rest of the day reflecting and looking forward and deciding who's the person that I want to be. Okay? Because we cannot make decisions based on the person that we are today. I'll tell you a quick example. I went to a cheese festival, I don't know, like 2018. I remember having a conversation with my friends. If someone ever paid you $1 million, would you ever go up cheese? And I was like, no way. Here I am, years later, not eating cheese, not eating any dairy, not eating gluten. That started with a small behavioral change, but I didn't know 5 years ago that I wouldn't be eating cheese now, that I would be doing a whole bunch of things I'm doing. I had no idea, and none of it happens by accident. Okay. Some of you guys know my Olympic story. I found out 12 days before the opening ceremonies of the Beijing Olympics. I was ranked 30th in the world. They were supposed to take 34 and they took 29. So I was the very first person not to go, right? I didn't just wish to get to the Olympics. There are so many behaviors you have to do. Little small decisions that led to that, working for the person that I wanted to be, which at that point was an Olympian, pretending I was an Olympian, making behavioral choices based on the fact that I was going to the Olympics, right? All those things, we have to work towards our future self, not the person that we are today. Not being in the comfort zone. If you don't know what to do for a New Year's resolution, just get out of your comfort zone. Nothing change. If you don't get out of your comfort zone, you'll be exactly here next year. Exactly here. So make a change that you're going to thank yourself for a year from now. Okay. If you need help, I love coaching humans on this. Let me know. Love to see you in the program. Going down the 16th. There's a way to participate for free. Send me a message with any questions, comments, concerns. Happy 2023. Here's having the best year ever. It's going to be amazing. And pay attention to what those thoughts are happening up here. Thoughts are not true. Okay? Taking action in real life is true. You can control this. It just takes time and training and doesn't happen overnight. So, good luck. Happy New Year's. I appreciate you. You're amazing. Take care of your mind and your body because it's the only one you got. Okay, goodbye. End broadcast. And